When do you get that thing?
Clapper, यार ऐप आती है बड़ी महंगी ऐप है. Okay, ready?
Please, you hold on.
Please.
Go for it.
Action.
Sweet. Welcome to BCR Talkies.
Yay!
Finally.
Finally.
We're finally doing it.
Yeah,
Cheers,
yeah.
guys.
Cheers.
guys. To BCR Talkies.
To
BCR
BCR
Talkies. So, BCR Talkies is basically us talking about coffee, about BCR, about coffee community, stuff we like to talk about, and stuff we want to talk about. Democracy, freedom of speech.
Okay, if you say so.
Sean, you've been the one who's been harping about us recording a podcast for the last 1 year.
It's
Why do you want us to do this? Why do you want us to sit on a table with a camera and lights in front of us with mics? And why do you want us to talk about the stuff we normally talk about on camera? What's up with that, man?
Yeah, just because one, it's really two. I think the whole seriousness behind it, like it'll bring value to a lot of people, and suddenly we might get more ideas, more feedback from our customers, from people that watch this, and maybe come up with something really good.
Cool. That sounds vaguely interesting.
I know.
Yeah. It does.
Not very interesting though.
Not very interesting.
So that's why you both come in, huh?
Yeah. Desi, what do you think we'll do on the BCR Talkies episode, man?
Episode 1?
Today we know what we're going to do. What are we going to do after this? Like, in general, what are we going to do on this podcast?
We're going to talk about all the coffees that we love, how we brew them, how you maybe kind of brew them. We're going to get planters, different roasters on board for maybe an episode whenever they're available. It's going to be fun doing the whole thing with them as well.
Yeah.
Their insights are like really important because that's what we are here for, and that's what we do. It's so important to get what they feel about how we are doing with their coffees and what they're doing at their farm for next year's coffee, the green coffee and everything. So I think it's very very important for them to come here क्योंकि हमें सुन के वैसे ही सारे बोर हो जाएंगे 4 एपिसोड में.
I don't think so.
पता नहीं यार, I'm not sure either.
Really?
I think you're very interesting.
And I think that's what we are missing out on over here in terms of what we're going to do on the podcast.
We're gonna have fun.
Exactly.
We do that every day.
Also, we're just sharing the fun, man. We're just
We're spreading joy and fun.
Having
Joy.
having fun amongst us. We just want to make sure that let everybody let in them on the BCR fun.
Sweet.
Yeah. New WhatsApp group, by the way. BCR Fun.
BCR Fun.
We have a season ticket,
no
we have
more
Brew
groups,
Squad,
man. No,
and now we have BCR Fun.
I am vetoing more groups.
Okay, cool.
Using my this year's veto. By the way, Happy New Year, guys. I'm using
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year!
New Year, new group.
What if we launched this before the New Year? But still, the wish counts, right?
Of course,
Yeah,
The wish counts. Yeah.
The wish counts.
Cool. So then,
Let's
let's do it. Happy New Year. Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Happy New Year! That was good, man.
2023.
2023. Good point.
Yes.
Because they don't know when we recorded this.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So this is episode 1. Well, so welcome to episode 1 of BCR Talkies. We're calling this the BCR Origin Trip.
The episode 1.
Episode 1, right?
One, yes.
So in this episode, we're going to talk about our story, how we started getting involved in specialty coffee, and suddenly making coffee more fun for everybody.
Yeah.
Getting everybody on board of drinking coffee.
Yeah.
My grandmother included.
True. So, let's take a stroll down memory lane back to 2019,
Wow.
November.
It's not that far behind.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Was it November? I don't think it was November.
October. Oh, it wasn't November. It's September. I think.
It was September, August or September.
Sometime in later 2019.
Second half 2019.
Yeah, correct.
Yes. Post my birthday.
And correct. Post your birthday.
Yes.
Spot on.
When is your birthday?
July 14th.
God. Well done, man.
I knew. I just wanted you to tell the viewers, man.
I think everybody knows how bad you are
And dates.
at dates.
Not those dates.
Yeah, just put it.
We will edit this, right? Surely.
No.
We are editing?
No, we're not.
Cool, then we're going back to topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
One of us has to be responsible for going back to topic.
that's why I have laptop, na?
Fancy man.
Yeah,
You're
क्या
a
करें यार?
fancy person.
Yeah. What do we do? Okay. So August, September 2019, approximately.
Yeah.
We took part. Shivansh and I took part.
Yes.
In the Indian Aerobus Championship.
Yes.
At Dhan Mills, favorite coffee roastery.
Our favorite coffee roastery.
Our favorite coffee roastery.
Yeah.
Okay. Tricky. Now I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Weber.
Quiburn Fox. Yeah. And why did we take part? Like, what got into us, man?
Yeah, we were brewing a lot of AeroPress that time, and we had just discovered brewing at
Yeah.
home and enjoying specialty coffee, buying from roasters and all.
Yeah.
And I think you were the one who saw that Instagram ad. Dude, there's a competition happening for AeroPress. How cool is that? And like, it's really cool. And the the barrier to entry was really cheap.
You mean the entry ticket was very cheap?
Yeah, I mean, I was like, करके तो देखते हैं, we'll get to know a few recipes, we'll get to know a few people who brew more AeroPress and all. Yeah, I think that was a major catalyst into us going into, let's fucking do it.
So, you're saying that the primary catalyst for us taking part in the championship was because the ticket was very cheap?
No, because we were getting a free bag of, not free, we were getting to participate in the AeroPress championship and getting a bag of coffee.
At a low price
from
point.
Earth Roastery that time.
I'll tell you what it was.
Earth Roastery.
Earth Roastery that time. That's some Ethiopian coffee that time.
Correct.
I think I remember this conversation I was having with Charang at his house. I think, so Charang, what do you think about the AeroPress Championship? क्यों कर रहा है भाई? He was like, देख, अगर चंडीगढ़ में होता ना, तो ईश्वर में से कोई ना कोई फर्स्ट आता ही. Let's see what it takes to win Delhi.
Yeah.
And that was like I
Fair
think
enough. That's
a great way to put it. And because you guys have been brewing a lot of AeroPress for a long time now.
Yeah.
And this was like, I think 2017, 18, you guys, I had my first AeroPress with you.
Yeah.
In 2018.
Correct.
You didn't buy ours, man.
I've had mine since 2014, I think.
Me too, I think.
14,
That time only. That golden one, yeah. I still have the
The
original one.
clear one. The golden one.
Golden
हाँ,
AeroPress लिखा है. उसका वो मिटने वाला है वो, मतलब but
Mid year,
मिट गया है.
मिट गया. I'll post a photo of this.
I think you should.
So we signed up for the championship and then we finally were able to get our coffee thanks to a taxi driver who went to QBF and got coffee from there.
Yeah.
And then the D-Day came. We three of us drove down to
Why was
Delhi.
I there?
Moral support.
We needed the moral support.
We really needed the moral support.
But we were nervous, as
Yeah.
crazy nervous.
Yeah, but that's like pre-breakfast things. Once you guys had breakfast at Cafe Dory, I think you guys.
I don't think that was pre-breakfast nerves. I think it was general nerves of
No, it was
going up against like the stalwarts of Indian coffee.
Okay, going back to topic, when we reached there,
Yeah.
like all the Blue Tokai baristas,
Yeah.
all the QBF baristas,
Yeah.
coffee machine people,
Yeah.
Raman.
Yeah. With his incredible mustaches.
He was there, and the way he was confident, man.
Yeah. And they were all confident. And we were like shit nervous because as home brewers, now there are a lot of home brewers who are taking part in the Airbush Championship. At that time, I think there were about 4 or 5 of us in a pool of 40 people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that time it wasn't that prevalent. And I think the level of home brewing as well was not as high as it is now.
Yeah, that's true.
Now most home brewers are doing a much better job than most baristas. So now it's different. But at that time it was like a different scenario. So I remember when we went there and we were like really, really nervous because I think that's the thing with specialty coffee. It can be intimidating just by how technical it seems to be. You know? So we were definitely taken back by how not intense, but how technical it was.
Yes.
The incredibly fancy grinders, the number of weighing scales, the different instruments to like stir coffee with. You know?
That's true.
It's like how many things you know. The kettles,
People carrying their own kettles.
Correct.
I think someone was carrying their own grinder as well.
Yeah, somebody's carrying their own EK43 or something, or ditting.
Yeah.
Do you remember the idea of using that EK for the first time?
Oh my god, I didn't use it.
I did.
Did you use it?
I used it.
I took my stupid Harrio hand grinder.
Oh, lucky. I think,
That's why I lost.
dude, I used to EK. I also lost. But
What's your excuse?
Between the three of us, we have never crossed the Aeropress Championship for first round. We have judged it.
We have done it, yes.
I haven't even.
But that's like
I haven't taken part of
way
that.
beyond our early days.
Yeah, correct.
Dude, next year I'm going to participate from.
Surat. Do it. Surat it is.
I'll be in Goa.
Yeah. Yeah, so if anybody wants to meet Shivansh Vidaswit, you know where to go.
Yes.
Yeah, so then, but you know what I remember? Yes, we were intimidated, but then we saw Suhas.
Oh man, the energy that man had.
And things changed. Things changed.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, we had no idea who Suhas was at that time.
Yeah.
But this guy's energy and just how inclusive he was suggested that either he's an excellent MC or he knows a lot about coffee.
VJ. I really thought he was a channel VJ. I swear to God.
He looked like one.
I swear to God, that was my first time. For the championship, they got something from Channel V or something.
Yeah.
I was weirdly disappointed also, and I was like really impressed also.
That's true.
Yeah. And then, of course, then we met other guys, Binny, Webhav, and the whole lot who, really supported us, made us feel comfortable. Who was there in your round? Who did you go up against? Do you remember? You don't, right? I remember Sheena was there in my round.
I think Shivansh was up against a barista from Blue Tokai and a barista from QBF.
Fair enough.
That's my excuse, man.
That's your excuse.
That's my excuse.
Yeah, I
remember clearly.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I think in my round I had Webhav and Sheena. Right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sheena was definitely there.
Yeah.
Webhav on your round?
I think there was another cafe owner in my round. Yeah. I can't remember. I think it was Webhav. I don't know.
Good.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. But, everybody helped each other out and we had a great time. We really interacted with. Paul was there as well. We had a good chat with Paul.
Yes.
And what was the thought when we left QBF?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
And also, the coffees at QBF that we had apart from the Aeropress Championship coffees was super.
And the pasta and the pizza.
Oh, yeah.
The pizza.
The pizza has gotten better and now it's incredible.
The music.
Yeah, it's really
The music was fantastic.
Music was
It still is.
Yeah, he plays great music.
Yeah.
I was there recently. They were playing Melody Gaudo. Yeah, so I was very impressed. Baba plays great music.
Yeah, Bell is good taste.
Coffee ठीक है.
But music?
Music बहुत अच्छा है.
Music was
Super
pizza ठीक है. But the music
is
Super. Yeah. And and then we started driving back at around 5 o'clock.
Later?
Yeah, 5:36.
Five, I think 6 we left. 6 we left from
6 we left,
London.
yeah. And I remember we had a very nice, warm, fuzzy feeling about the coffee community, about how wonderful it is. Because at that time I was very frustrated with what I was doing.
Yeah.
Interiors and all that. Music had taken a back seat that time already.
Yeah.
And that was just a welcome change for me to talk to people who I could relate to.
Yeah.
And who were not trying to, somehow
Fight with you.
Yeah. Not create a conflict, right?
Yeah.
And Tejasvi had just moved back from Delhi.
Yes.
Where he had a cloud kitchen, and you were still doing your architecture.
I'm still doing that.
You were still
I'm
studying.
studying.
Yeah.
You were in your final year at that time?
2019. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in your final year.
Yeah.
And me being the elder brother, I was very worried that Shivansh will have to go down the route that I have been on for the last 12 years and be super miserable in life.
Thank you.
And it was just a wonderful feeling, talking to these guys. It was so nice and warm. And we started driving back and we were like, I think it was SC was like, dude, we must do something in coffee, right?
That's how we started.
Yeah, we must do something in coffee. We must be part of this community.
Yeah.
Our primary thought was that, kuch karte hain, but we just want to be part of this community.
Yeah.
I want to be able to come to QBF, chill with Weber. I want to be able to come to any of the roasters. Be part and be known, be friends with them primarily.
For me, I just wanted to be friends with Suhas.
That Guruji.
That was my primary.
Guruji.
Yeah, that was my primary motivation. Like, if anybody asked me at that time, okay, hey man, why do you want to start something in coffee? My answer would be that I want to be friends with Suhas. That guy is incredible.
Agree.
He is.
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
So we started off, And of course, Tesvi was driving.
He is driving.
Tesvi was
So
driving.
there's a whole
There's a long-
timeline with
there's a long
the
drive.
whole drive.
Yeah. Should are we getting the whole timeline? Are we getting
Why
into...
not?
Let's do it.
If you're doing
Should we
the
do
origin
it?
story, then why not?
Yeah.
Let's break down the road trip of the original.
Let's break down the
let's
road
do
trip.
it.
It was a long trip.
Toll plaza to toll plaza. How many toll plazas are there, man?
Four.
It's crazy.
I
Really?
came back yesterday. Four.
You came back yesterday?
Now there are 4. Us time pe there were 3.
नहीं, four.
3.
नहीं,
Okay, let's not argue.
Four से खुल गया था भाई.
Okay, that's fine. Let's agree to disagree here.
Okay.
मान लेते हैं 3-4. So we start off from Delhi with the thought that we must be part of the coffee community one way or the other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And throughout the trip, we came with multiple ideas of how we can do it.
So let's start with the first one.
What was the first one? I don't remember, honestly.
I do. It was we should start a specialty coffee cafe.
Cafe.
Yeah, a cafe.
You know, where we'll only serve manual brew of AeroPresses and milk coffee using that frothed milk through the French press.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the idea was to just showcase specialty coffee from its glory and buy coffee from good roasters like UBF and Blue Tokai and all.
Yeah.
And like really brew the coffee well. Yeah. It was a good idea.
What, Tesvi, do you remember at what milestone was this idea dropped?
No. So we changed a lot of things after we crossed the Panipat toll. Till Karnal, we made a lot of changes to the cafe plans.
Okay, till Canal, we were still opening cafe.
we were at cafe.
But then we were like, okay, so let's get a decent machine, let's get a good grinder. From a regular basic setup, we went to, let's do something decent. That's going to last for a longer period of time. And we'll be doing the output should be much better.
Yeah.
So that's what we came down with. And this is from Panipat toll till Karnal. Yeah.
And the valid point there was that at that time, Chandigarh's cafe scene was pretty bad. Non-existent. Let's not get into that. Sorry, so you were saying.
So you were doing the maths of our cafe planning.
Yeah, so once
I was doing the math.
you were doing the calculations.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where we fucked up.
Maybe that's why we don't know the cafe. Maybe that's why we're not making money.
So,
Yeah.
according to the mental maths that we did that time, a cafe setup would have costed us a bomb.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And we didn't
पैसे
have
मत बचाइए।
पैसे थे नहीं हमारे पास, ठीक है?
अभी भी नहीं है।
अभी भी नहीं है।
Yeah.
I wonder whose fault is that. Calculation.
Taking blame.
Giving blame to all of us. Yay!
To be fair, if we had opened a cafe back in 2019, I think हम आज के rental से तो बचे होते.
Why? Look at the bright side. At this point, we have 100 cafes to call our own. And no money to show for it. High fives all around. High fives all around.
Can't
Thank you.
Can't even.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, carry on.
It's okay, sir.
Carry on.
Okay. Still at Karnal, I think we finally we stopped at Savoy. I think
We stopped at Savoy. I got out of the car. I had a burger from McDonald's and cold coffee. I had cold coffee. Sorry, not these guys. I had cold coffee. They were like still बहुत coffee हो गया यार और घर ले चलो. And we left from Savoy and there was like कि पैसे नहीं हैं, we can't do a cafe. We surely can't do a cafe.
Yeah.
And then for some weird reason I was driving. I don't know मेरे साथ आगे कौन बैठा था, जो पीछे बैठा था ना वहां से आवाज आई कोल्ड ब्रू में कुछ करते हैं.
Yeah, I think that was
like,
Shivansh.
I think मैं पीछे बैठा था.
Yeah. Sounds like you.
Cold brew.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's bottle cold brew. Let's sell cold brew.
Yeah.
And just cold brew.
A revolutionary idea for that time.
That's true.
Correct.
That's true. But we dropped that idea
I don't know why. I
till
think
we reached Kurukshetra, probably 20 kilometers.
I'll tell you why. Because we had no idea that people do batch work.
Yeah.
We thought we had to set up the entire plant ourselves.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. मैं वापस कैफे खोलने के लिए उस कैलकुलेशन के हिसाब से 2 करोड़ रुपए नहीं है, हम 15 करोड़ कैसे लगाएं?
Exactly.
Because that's what we thought. We'll buy a factory.
Yeah, and set up a bottling unit.
Yes, a brewing and a bottling unit.
West,
For cold
in
brew.
hindsight, dude, that's a great business idea. We should do it right now.
No. Yeah.
No, not happening.
ठीक है.
So cold brew was then out of the window
Yeah,
bottle was closed.
that went by very quickly.
very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
But I remember doing the math on cold brew as well.
Yes, yes.
I remember doing the math. I remember saying, "कि ये तो भाई profitable है." है ना? I remember saying this is profitable.
Yeah.
We must make sure I never do math ever again.
Cool.
We like as a group, guys.
हाँ, ठीक है.
Let's make a decision right now in front of people. इस कैमरा
Yes.
कैमरा को साक्षी मान
साक्षी
के
मान के.
हम आज डिसाइड कर रहे हैं कि शारंग will never do business math again.
But who will? I don't know how to. Savvy, dude. वैसे
Thanks, man.
Why didn't you do maths that time?
He was driving, yeah.
भाई मैं चला था गाड़ी यार.
Are you mad, dude?
हाँ ठीक है. जल्दी पहुंच जाता.
Yeah. Cool. So, cold brew was out of the window. The cafe was now sealed shut, primarily because we didn't have money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But we had to do something with coffee, right? To be part of the community.
Yes. Because I think the comment that we had was कि I think this is post Kurukshetra when we were like क्या करना है? And like the three of us were on the same page कि चंडीगढ़ में specialty coffee लेके आनी है. चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए.
Yeah.
Because I think early 2019s, I think I still remember there were like 3 or 4 places who started serving blue takai.
Correct.
And that's where we were like, finally we see something very different.
Yeah.
And the quality of the coffee was definitely better than all the other cafes.
100%.
Because I think one, awareness wasn't there, and probably the market didn't need that kind of a change back then, especially in Chandigarh.
Brewing was really bad.
The brewing was bad.
Yeah.
Sure.
Most of the cafes,
Sure.
the brewing was really bad.
Yeah, of
shit,
course.
Are you dissing the cafes here?
No, we are dissing.
No, we're not
That's
dissing
okay.
anybody, man.
हाँ, ठीक.
No, that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
We
speak truths.
Yeah.
Objective truths.
Yeah. The blue guy was there. and
BCR.
Our thing was कि Chandigarh में charity coffee लेके आनी है.
Correct.
And we want, and it should not be limited to the three of us.
Yeah.
It has to be for a much bigger audience.
Yeah.
So that was the plan that we were sticking on to
Correct.
throughout.
Yeah. And then surprise, we had a roaster lying with us.
Yeah.
Which we've been using off and on for the heck of it.
Trying to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buying coffee from green coffee from Sonepat.
Well, very cheap though.
Very cheap.
Very cheap, yeah.
We should try some of
You
that.
should try it.
With our advanced roasting skills now, who knows? Double AP very. No, so
People are watching this, okay?
correct. No, my question is, when we had a roaster, why didn't we come up with the idea of starting a roastery before all of this? When we already had a roaster,
Because we didn't know jack shit about roasting.
we did not know jack shit about roasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
I think
Valid
you know,
point.
at that point of time, it just seemed that the learning curve of brewing was shorter than
Yeah.
the learning curve of roasting. I think
Maybe.
Yeah.
the
and I
curve is
think-
the most important thing in the world. Be it brewing or roasting.
Yeah, that's true.
ROI.
That's true.
ROI.
Yeah.
But then I think it was too short a time to get things in our head. हम जल्दी चंडीगढ़ ही वापस आते हैं. It's not like
Fair
it
point.
was a long journey.
Correct. And
It was
I think
like a
the other thing,
5-hour drive.
the other thing was that we wanted to start something now.
Yeah.
It was like we want something now. It wasn't a matter of let's do something next year.
Yeah.
We were just so desperate to get out. Like for me, I was just desperate to get out of what I was doing at that time. And together we were desperate to be in coffee.
Yes.
I think that's the reason why we didn't think of the roastery first.
Yeah.
And when everything else failed, we realized we didn't have money. We were like, why don't we start roasting? And just see how it goes from there. You know?
At least learn how to roast
Yeah.
coffee. At least start the process.
See if there is a market, and that's when we decided we were like, fine, let's start roasting coffee. Let's figure out how to roast coffee.
Yeah.
Figure out if there's a market for freshly roasted coffee in Chandigarh and the neighboring region, and if we can actually do a good enough job with that.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like where we were when we finally reached back home at midnight.
Yeah. Not fine.
Midnight.
11:30.
11:30. 11:45ish.
45 I was home.
भाई 6 बजे निकले थे वहाँ से. We reached at 12:30.
11:30.
Okay. Yeah, so that was the Origin Trip
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
that was
BCR.
Origin Trip.
Literally hashtag Origin Trip.
Origin road trip.
Yeah. Which led to the
honestly nothing more to it.
correct.
This is how it began.
Correct. The creation of Bloom Coffee Roasters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good coffee break.
Yeah, through the camera magic, we have coffee again.
Sweet. Just like our coffees.
Yes.
So that's the Origin Trip that ended. I think we came up with the name on the way back. Yeah. In the car.
We figured it out.
Right?
We came up with like I think 2 or 3 words,
Yeah.
and Bloom was the first word that we all agreed upon.
Huh. I think we wanted something that was easy to pronounce, easy to remember, something to do with coffee.
Yes.
Ticks all the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And me being the domain hoarder that I am,
Yeah.
I got the domain like right there and then.
Yes.
.com wasn't available and we were like, कोई ना देखी जाएगी.
Dot in, dude. We are even and proud.
Yeah. Democracy. Singapore.
Thank God we did.
China.
But we didn't go overboard with domains at that time. Yeah.
That was much later.
That was
Much later.
Shari, I think that's his hobby. That's your hobby, to buy domains.
Yeah, I think somebody told me that it's very profitable. So far, I've spent a lot of money in buying domains and I haven't made
For
any.
your next business idea, contact Shari.
Seriously, if you want to buy domains, please buy them off me. And cool.
He's your daddy when it comes to GoDaddy.
Oh, yeah. Cool. We will not even edit that out. Yeah. Cool. So Bloom Coffee Roasters, the name was decided.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then came to the actual work.
Yeah.
One was the branding, the other was learning how to roast coffee.
Yeah.
And what's incredible is that we did both of them simultaneously. Incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
we thought it through, man. Who would have thought?
I swear, I say, like just the idea of doing both together.
Multitasking between 3 people. Puppet boys.
Yeah. So roasting. I think we should talk about the branding part of it. I think that's a very important part of our story, right?
Should we first of all give a round of applause to the person who has done the branding?
Let's do it.
Let's
Yeah.
thank you, Ravi.
Who did our branding, Shah?
Pushkar Thakur from the Graphy Aussie. Yeah.
Thank you, Pushkar.
Thank you, Pushkar. Thank you,
That
man.
was a great job.
Pushkar was incredible. I knew about Pushkar because of his stationery brand Origin One.
Yes.
We all had his diaries and craft paper, but beautiful.
Still do.
Yeah, I still have them.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Correct. And I remember when we thought of like who could design the branding for us. We had some ideas of what we wanted our brand to look like.
Yeah.
Correct. Tessie, I remember you were like pretty clear about the way it should kind of be more approachable, right?
Yes. Well, the whole idea was to not do something that the 3 of us like, because we are pretty bland, boring, white, black, white, that kind of people. But we wanted the brand to be more fun, easily approachable, and so Chandigarh was a big part of it. We wanted to get Chandigarh, the schemes, what Chandigarh means to us, somewhere in the branding, and of course with Chandigarh comes the primary colors. So we got the colors, we pushed really hard to get black somewhere there. Thank God for black pouches.
Thank God. I remember Shivansh was like extremely against craft paper.
Oh, yeah. I was.
What's your thing with craft paper, man?
Oh, I love it. But
I think we all do.
Correct.
Yeah.
so, going back to our story with the Indian Aeropress Championship.
Yeah.
So, that intimidation that we felt because, that specialty coffee not being slightly approachable.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with the craft paper, the black, minimalist mindset, or just the logo of the company and the estate name. Right? There's not a lot one gathers from that. If you're not part of the coffee community, if you're not into coffee, you don't really gather a lot. Like as a newbie, you don't really pick it up. So I wanted to make sure, we wanted to make sure over here that our coffee bags are approachable. You see them on a shelf, you see the branding somewhere, you have that inquisitiveness that, oh, what is that? I want to see that. Okay. And on the pouch itself, as random as it may be, we have all the information. We say coffee over there.
Correct. I think we'll get into the details of that in a bit. I think
stating the obvious is what we do best.
Stating the obvious. Yeah. And so I remember messaging Pushkar and expecting him to not reply or him saying that I don't have time, etc.
Sliding into Pushkar's DMs.
Sliding into Pushkar's DMs. Yeah. And I was like, dude, we want to start something with coffee. Would you be up for designing something for us? And one, he replied, win-win.
Yeah.
And two, he was very sweet and he was like, why don't you guys come over? We'll discuss what you want to do and let's see if we can make it work.
Yeah.
And who went? I think Tesvi and I went there.
You and me. Yes.
Yeah, I could not go.
You weren't there, right? Yeah. And I remember when we entered there, Tesvi was like, because of all the beautiful black sofas there. Matte black all around.
Matte black sofas.
The black on black card.
The paint was black, his room was black. I was like, oh my god, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is...
You had the gothic mood over there, no?
Oh man.
Beautiful place. He made us pour over from Blue Kai, and which we enjoyed. And then we started talking about what we wanted to do and how he could contribute to it in terms of our branding, our logo. And I think biggest apprehension at that time was, us not being able to afford him.
Yeah.
Right? So I remember in the entire conversation, we'd be like, we want to do this, but dude, we are like really bootstrapped, man. We are like really
You were a
bootstrapped.
bad client, man. Just saying.
No, I know. So now here's the fun part of it. Okay, this is something which I don't know a lot of people know, but
Nobody knows.
nobody knows this, right? We're gonna say this. Yeah, I think we should. I think it's fun, right? So before we went, me and Tesvi had thought of a budget. Okay, this is what we want to put in, which is a sizable amount. But because we thought that branding was critical because of the way we want to approach our brand, I find this is a fair enough investment to make, and it's like a once in a 10-year, 20-year investment. So we're okay with that, right? So finally, when all the discussions were done, he, all fun and everything was done, we asked Pushkar, that dude, how much do you think you will charge for this? And he's like, look, man, normally I would charge, XYZ for it. I see how passionate you guys are, and I really want to, kind of help you out with that. So I will charge you X amount, right? Which was like a lot lesser than what he would normally charge, right? And at that point of time, I was like, damn, this is brilliant. But Tejasvi, our chief negotiator, he's like, dude, you know what? We can give you X plus Y. Pushkar was like, okay, let's do that.
I'll tell you what the thing was. We discussed this level.
Do not justify yourself now.
I'll do A, B, C, D, E for you. Okay? And we were like, ठीक है, but बाकी चार चीजें कौन करेगा? And you'll definitely charge more. And if we do a package deal when we are here right now, it's gonna cost us less. अगर बाद में हम एक चीज कराएंगे ज़्यादा पैसे लगेंगे, दूसरी करेंगे और पैसे लगेंगे, तो might as well just finish it right there. And to be fair, that's why I don't go to Palika and Janpat because I'm terrible at
Are you comparing Pushkar to Palika and Janpat now?
It's because I am terrible at negotiating.
Hey, no, man.
I think whatever amount we paid Pushkar, I think it feels everything that he did and how the branding came out.
Yeah.
I think it's worth every bit.
And more.
Yeah.
100%.
It was right because of Bootstrap, we didn't have money at all. But it was very gutsy, one, to go to Pushkar at that time. We had nothing. And me, Shah and I were like standing outside Pushkar. We parked the car and we were sitting inside the car and we were discussing. भाई पैसा तो है नहीं, इतने हो जाएंगे, इतने में क्या होएगा, कुछ तो होएगा, देखते हैं. And then Pushkar gave us a quote and he went out of the room. He was doing his own stuff. He was designing something at that time.
That was very smart of him in hindsight.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah. So he gave us like about 10 minutes time. And we discussed. And we were like, yeah. It's like वो typical चंडीगढ़ वो अंदर से वो निकलता ना पंजाबी ऐसे पंजाबी came took over and like ठीक है यार देखी जाएगी let's do it we'll figure it out
yeah
and वैसे भी उस टाइम पे ग्रीन कॉफी सोनीपत से 173 रुपए किलो किसी को नहीं किया ही
yeah so yeah, we had.
I have another question. Did you have any other designers? Did we speak?
Yeah. We spoke to a couple of others who were like charging much lesser than Pushkar. But then, you know what? Yeah, you weren't that involved. You were starting that time, na?
Oh, yeah. You didn't even ask him that where you design from, right?
No, we asked you this.
We did. We called you.
Yeah, dude, you were included in everything. Stop being so paranoid.
Apart from the money talks, of course.
Correct. Yeah.
That's what I will do.
Correct.
But Shivansh कितना बनेगा?
And once we finalized that, Pushkar was doing our designing. The next conversation we had with Pushkar was about how we want a brand to look like. What does it represent? Yeah. And it was one of the most amazing conversations I've had. In terms of how we wanted our brand to be represented by the design, right? So, like as we said, the Chandigarh part of it, what you said about it being approachable and fun, and then of course there's the nerdy part of it, which was critical because we didn't want, and even now a lot of people will look at a branding and go like, this is some people find tacky, but what was very important to me was that all the relevant information that you need on the bag of coffee, as a brewer myself, should be there, right? And more. So I remember having the conversation with Pushkar about putting the photograph of the planter on the bag, and he loved that idea. And we started doing that. And then I think the thing that tied it all together was the stickers on my guitar case that I was carrying with me. Yeah. And
just trying to impress Pushkar that day with the guitar.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I remember carrying my case just because of that. Yeah, totally. It worked. Yeah. And we took our guitar case, and I was like, whenever I would like find a nice sticker, I put it there, and it kind of creates a very cool vibe. And suddenly Pushkar was like, why don't we tie this all together with primary colors, random stickers, and all the data that we needed to put it all in a bag randomly. And I remember when he sent the first mock-up, we were like blown away.
Yeah.
That was the first and only mock-up that he sent us.
Yeah.
There was no other design.
No, we didn't ask for any changes. We didn't do anything.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. But so we had an option. It was like it's either this or this is gonna go completely out. And it's gonna be something very new,
different.
Yeah. We can't make changes to this because it'll lose the charm basically of what it really is. And we were like hooked on to it from the first look.
Yeah, we loved it. I even remember having a conversation with somebody, I don't know who it was. Some parent, somebody is like, अरे कुछ change तो करवाओ ना.
I know.
एक option तो और मंगवाओ ना, है ना? Something like that.
Something happened.
I think them तीनों के parents थे वो.
I think it was collective. The parent collective.
The parent collective.
I'm sure.
Could be.
Yeah, and we were like, we're very happy with this, and that became our branding. And
I think Pushkar told us this. The beans under our logo, that Bloom Coffee Roasters, is actually Morse code for Bloom Coffee Roasters.
Yeah.
I thought now that we're talking about Pushkar, that everybody should know.
Correct. Yeah, the guy is fantastic.
Yeah.
Pushkar's fantastic. And that became our branding, which we were extremely proud of. We really, really love. And some will hate us for it. Some will love. It's polarizing. Yeah. But at least it's original.
Yes.
At least it's us.
Yeah.
And I think for us, that's the most important thing.
Agreed.
Just with our coffee, with our image and with our branding, we want to be transparent. We want to be original. We want to be ourselves. Yeah. That's far more important to us than
absolutely
ticking some boxes.
Yeah.
Except the roast level box.
That would be
Yeah. So that was the branding part of it. Now, the other critical part, of course, was green coffee and coffee roasting.
Yeah, man. That was tough.
That was tough, wasn't it?
Initially, it was tough.
I mean, it's still tough, to be honest.
I mean, at least now we know. Yeah, no, it's tough.
Oh, still,
It's
yeah.
still tough.
It is.
I remember somebody recently asked me, Sarang, how long did it take you to learn roasting? And I was like, dude, I've been roasting for about 3.5, almost 4 years now. And I'm still learning something new every single time I roast.
Yeah.
Every batch, every roast day is a learning.
Yeah.
And that's something which kind of applies to even say music or any art. You're learning every day.
Yeah.
It's a content. You've never learned how to play guitar.
No.
You've never learned how to sing.
Even a new coffee, right?
Yeah.
The new profile that we're doing.
Exactly.
It's a completely new system of roasting.
Exactly.
It's a completely new system.
For us.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm talking about us only. I
Exactly.
don't know anybody else's roasting style.
And I think what really helped was having mentors like Suhas from day one. Having mentors, and I say mentors because when we started, at least these guys were mentors. People like Pawan, Naveen, Shravan, they were so helpful to us. They were so open. Not only were they helpful with them giving us great coffee, but because we had no clue about coffee, we went in the blind. They were, one, helpful, two, honest, and three, they kind of showed us the path. And not just in terms of coffee roasting, but even in terms of the way we work, our philosophy, the way we interact with people, our value system. I think a lot of it was defined by people like Suhas, Pawan, Naveen, and the guys we interacted with.
Rohan.
Yeah, Rohan as well. Absolutely. These guys were like the founding fathers of... not founding fathers, they're founding bros. Founding bros. Founding bros of Bloom Coffee Roasters. We did a very nice roasting course session at Blue Tukai.
Yes.
Yeah, with...
I wasn't there.
You weren't there, correct.
I was still, I had an exam that day, I think.
You did.
I did have an exam.
Yeah, typical.
Physical education.
What?
What did you say?
Really? Physical education.
Physical education for 5 years, bro.
But this week, we went to Blue Tukai. It was Saket, right?
It was Saket.
And it was Asif and Shreyas?
And Shreyas.
Wow.
Both of them.
Wow.
Yeah. So Shreyas was the one when we were at the cafe / roastery. Shreyas was there. It was the three of us. Sharang, the other person and me. And it was very nice to see how good and with ease Shreyas was trying to explain all the processes and how the roaster works and what do you do, what are the basics. And then what was overwhelming was the amount of coffee that was around us. And we were seeing people packing 250-gram pouches on a back-to-back thing for about good 30 minutes.
Wow.
And how they had stacked up boxes and cartons and everything of roasted coffee, green coffee, and all the details and everything. And then I think we tried a dark, medium, and a light roast that they were roasting at that time. I think that was the first time when I think both Shari and I, we were like, light roast.
Light roast, correct.
So good. And the third person that was there, he was like, dark, of course. It tastes like coffee.
Yeah.
And Sharan had the first sip of that light roast and he was like, this is so good, man.
I think it was the Sitaragundu estate,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes.
That's great coffee.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
Of course we've had it. Sitaragundu estate. We had so much of it.
Yeah.
I really want to work with them actually. Let me get in touch with them.
Yeah, so Chutness was, Shreyas was, sorry. So
Instagram handle, yeah.
Shreyas was really helpful. He gave us a lot of time for us if we had any queries, any questions, and discussing about green coffee, the curves, and how difficult it gets at times
Yeah.
to roast coffee, and at times it's like so easy. So it was like, okay, so there's just no one perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a task. It's hard work with every roast.
Yeah.
And that we got on with like the first time we went there,
Yeah.
which was kind of little bit scary. कि अभी कुछ आता नहीं है. And then this man is telling us about it, and then we were like really happy कि जहाँ पे हम आए हैं करने, the course that we're doing at Bhutan, that was very helpful.
Absolutely.
It gave us so much clarity on what journey we are about to take.
Yeah.
And what all should we expect right from the beginning. जो usually बहुत टाइम के बाद लोगों को धीरे पता चलना नहीं होता. That was like pretty clear.
Yeah.
Right there and then.
Yeah.
And it's a huge credit to Blue Tokai for doing that. Like, you know, it's of course they're the leaders with specialty coffee in the country, no doubt, and the pioneers. But the way they you know, they're so inclusive. It's really commendable.
Yeah.
And I remember we didn't sign up for sensory course.
We did, but they were kind enough to
let us
Asif
in.
was kind enough to come and he was like, we have 2 free spots. If you guys want to join, then please do. And then we did a small sensory cupping thing with them.
Yeah, that was the first time we come.
Yes, that was the first time we cupped. And we were scoring coffees, and it was like, not to brag, but Shai and I scored very close to what Shreyas and Asif's scores were.
We were
And
just so
like
happy.
Jumping, man. We were jumping. We were like, oh my god.
See, now we know that cupping is all, you know, bluffing.
Very important, dude. You can't say that. You can't do
See, now we know that tasting notes and cup scores mean nothing at all.
Yeah.
But at that time, we were like jumping around. No, I'm kidding.
That was victory, man.
That was victory.
At that time,
Yeah. And so that was our first exposure to coffee roasting
roasters,
at all, right? Our second major exposure to roasting was the SCA roasting course that we did with Suhas, right? For which it was Shivansh and I, right?
Yeah.
And
that was the first time that I saw a roaster like that big.
correct. I remember before we took the roasting class, I went to Suhas. I was in Bangalore and I met up with him, and I was like, dude, this is what we're planning. You know, the idea is not really to be a commercial roaster. We just want to kind of roast for ourselves, but we really want to learn roasting. You know,
the idea is first of all
learn roasting, exactly. Learn about coffee. And he was like, dude, so right now we don't do a course, but if you're interested, I have a couple of the people who also are looking for it, so we could plan something up. I was like, so you've got 2 for sure.
Yeah.
You've got me and Shivansh for sure. If that fulfills your minimum requirement, great. If not, find some more people and let's do it. And I think a week later he called me. He's like, "Does this date work for you?" I was like, "Dude, whatever date you say, we'll be there." And we went to Bangalore for the roasting course, and we did. I think it was a 3-day course.
I missed my Vivas for that.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. It was I think one of the subjects ka end term Vivas or something.
Final Viva. Not the final.
Not a final, but like it had a decent enough value of it.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Commitment to the cause.
Well,
And I think we were there in Bangalore for about 3 days, so it's a horse. And that's exactly where we met Barinder from Saverworks.
yes.
And
Pali
Mayank, Pali Brews. And Mayank,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what is this roasting called now. I think I do actually, but yeah, I won't say the wrong thing. And it was a wonderful 3 days, wasn't it, dude?
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount that we learned with Kayum over there, Suhas, but it was incredible.
Yeah. And the number of coffees we had over there.
And the amount that Suhas let us play with the opera over there. I mean, kudos to him. Like the first time ever I had held a portafilter and it's intimidating. And I was being very gentle with the thing and he was like, "Arey, jor se karo na."
Correct. It was fantastic, man. It was fantastic.
Like, yeah.
Totally.
I was really intimidated by the machine that time.
The opera is an intimidating machine. Period.
Yeah.
Not really.
Right.
Okay, you saw it like after a lot of espresso fun.
Fun, yeah. This is the first time And the macchiato Suhas made.
Oh man, the best.
Guruji.
I'm still waiting for it, man.
He made over here. He didn't.
Oh yeah. That macchiato now, man. Oh.
Fantastic. Yeah, I remember we had so Shivansh and I were trying out different coffees across Bangalore.
Yeah.
Right, and we went to a few different places. But the coffee at Benki, so good. So good. And I'm glad they have now started the Benki coffee as well.
Yeah.
So we can pay for it as well. Unlike that time. You made a lot of coffee for us, to be fair. You know?
That's phenomenal.
And his
He's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
and his process or
Yeah, the whole Benki team, honestly.
Yeah, he did.
I remember we met Sohini there as well. We met Divya, of course. Pabiji. Pabiji there as well. And they were again just so warm, so sweet, so cordial, so welcoming. We learned so much in that course. Which gave us the confidence to do whatever we did further. Not just the confidence, but also the education, the knowledge.
And more important taught us like प्राइवेट की ठीक है आज मेरी रोस्टिंग ऐसे हो रही है like that is as I said tomorrow this will change and don't be intimidated when it changes, adapt.
Correct.
Right.
And the other thing that Suhas that really stayed with me even now is that and I don't think we follow that too much, but it was like, don't be we kind of follow that. Don't be the gatekeepers of coffee, Let people have coffee the way they want to have coffee. And at that time, I remember I especially was very stuck up and snobby about coffee because I didn't know anything about it, to be honest. So for me, sugar was a no-no, milk was the blah, 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 right? And as I've kind of learned about coffee more, and interacted with people like Suhas and some of the leaders in, the thought leaders of coffee right now, I realized that it's not really our prerogative, thanks man, to be the gatekeepers of coffee. We fulfill a service. We give people coffee. And we can tell people that this is how you can best brew it. For us, for our taste, for our palate. After that, it is down to the customer himself, the brewer himself. He must make it his own. He must make the coffee what he wants it to be. And I think Suhas is one of those people who has led this in India.
Specialty coffee for everyone, man.
Yeah, and that's where we came up with the whole tagline as well. That we want specialty coffee to be for everyone. We want people in Punjab to look at our bang or Bloom Coffee versus Kangne Pav. And to be able to have coffee the way they want to have coffee. And what was the most memorable part of the course for you? Do you have a more memorable part of the course? I'll tell you. Your most memorable part of the course. You win that blend competition.
Oh, that first cupping spoon. Against Maninder and Mayank.
Not against. Okay, we are the champions. Yeah, look at you, man. Yeah, so we were.
I still have that cupping spoon. That is a victory for me.
So that was one big learning out of that.
No, that was a highlight. What was second? What was your highlight, Sharon, for that course? What was your key highlight?
My highlight, apart from that cool red light coffee defect sorting experience, which is very surreal, I think my most useful highlight was meeting Sharon there from Salawala Estate. I remember we were doing the cupping and Sharon walked in and Suhas was like, Sharon, have you met Sharon? Sharon, have you met Sharon? Sharon. The whole thing happened.
That's a BCR tongue twister. I'm not going to read off that.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Sharon.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah. So we met him there for the first time, and we've been buying coffee from him ever since. This is actually the fourth year in a row that we're buying coffee from him, and we bought coffee from him and multiple times during the year, so it's been very helpful to us over the last.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paji. And I think that was a major victory of meeting Suhas, and then Suhas has connected us to so many other people as well, which is being nice.
No, Guruji is the victories Ginne Baiठे. That's a different podcast episode.
Correct. We should do that.
Yeah,
we should invite Suhas.
We will.
Yeah. Then of course, on the same trip, we headed down to Coorg.
Venkat's Valley Estate.
Yes, Venkat's Valley Estate to meet Pawan and Shilpa.
So Sharan, wait, how did you find out about Venkat's Valley Estate? What's the story there, man? Like, you were very particular.
Yeah.
Like, George, this is where I need to go.
Yeah, so when I was doing my masters in Oxford, Brookes University, there was a lovely cafe there called Quarter House Coffee, who was serving incredible specialty coffee from roasteries like Square Mile, Workshop, based out of London. And that's where I started having specialty coffee in the first place. When I went back to England a few years later, I realized that they're no longer in Oxford, and they moved to Birmingham, where they've opened their own roastery.
Wow.
Which got me very excited, and my wife and I, Varsha, we went to Birmingham primarily to visit them. And till that time, I hadn't really had Indian specialty coffee outside of India. Right, of course, Blue Tokai, Beachville, these guys were here, and I was having their coffee, but I hadn't had coffee outside India from an Indian planter. When I reached there, one of the primary featured offerings was the Venkat's Valley Estate India, and I remember seeing that, and this is I think in 2017 or 16. This is way before this, right? And I was like, wow, I did not know that Indian coffees were good enough to be in Europe, to be in the UK, to be at like one of the best roasteries in the country, in the UK, right? And that was my first exposure to Indian specialty coffee outside India. So when we started, I really wanted to kind of track them down and work with them, because that was my reference point in a way of Indian specialty coffee. So I stalked them. I stalked Pawan on Instagram, and I found Papa Gucci Coffee through Komal's account, of course, South Indian Coffee Company. And we had messaged Pawan, and we told him that we're starting a roastery. We might come to visit. And he was like, yeah, fine, you can come and visit. But
expect coffee out of me.
Yeah, correct. He was like, and we called him out of the blue once we were in Bangalore, and we were like, hey Pawan, Sharank here, in the taxi, headed to your place, see you in a few hours. He's like, what? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you said you could come.
Yeah, so a few hours later, we were at Pawan's place, and he showed us around the whole estate.
What a farm.
What a wonderful farm, yeah.
Beautiful.
Great guy. Shilpa's amazing. The coffees are phenomenal, and of course, we've been working with Pawan. We weren't able to get coffee from him from that harvest, but the following harvest we were able to get coffee from him, and that has become, of course, as everybody knows, one of our favorite coffees.
Yes.
Period. And Pawan has been, I think, out of everybody we work with, I think Pawan has been probably the most important part of Bloom Coffee Roasters from a farm perspective. He's kind of the backbone.
Absolutely.
And a big thanks to Pawan and Shilpa for giving us coffee. And
do you remember that look that they shared? So we were there sitting in their drawing room and all, and we were like, so we will do this with our coffee, we'll roast it like this, we'll try to retain the flavor, talking about what we have our plans. And until that moment, they were just like, ठीक है तो आए हैं, देख लेते हैं, क्या करना है ये वो. Until that moment, then suddenly we saw, like, me and Shah noticed that look, and Shilpa and Pawan shared a look, and just कोई दे देते थोड़ी सी coffee.
Yeah, it was like a nod. It was like
and
that moment we were like,
coffee,
did like it was like a under the counter high five. Made it.
Yeah.
Got it. And man, they've been like
they've been incredible. And the coffee, man, the quality of the coffee is going up, man. The yellow honey, the red honey,
oh man, the washed this year. The Robusta, of course.
Oh.
Yeah, the Robusta. What will you do with that, Pawan?
Also, we were the first Indian roasters he gave
coffee to,
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And the Robusta, seriously, dude.
That natural Robusta is so good.
That's the only Robusta that we have, and They hope to get more next year, but it's a very high benchmark for us to kind of grade Robustas and buy Robustas.
Yeah. Correct. And this is like before Robusta became cool again. You know?
We're the first one to have a Robusta on board as specialty roasters also, I think.
No, I mean, blends, there are a few blends.
Yeah.
But now Robusta is more like a mainstream with specialty coffee. Yeah, for sure. And from there, of course, if we're talking planters, we can't miss out Naveen.
Yeah.
MSP Coffee, Mongar Estate to represent. Mogunad Fat Boy Association. Shout out to Bini and Akshay as well. That was another coffee that I think actually MSP was the first plantation that I visited during the harvest. So my first real taste of coffee cherries was literally at MSP with Naveen and Kamlesh, and they were really amazing as well. Incredible facility. You guys haven't been there.
This year.
This year for sure. The coffees have been spectacular all across, and that's also where we had our first naturals coffee from, right?
Do you remember that?
The Mogunad Naturals.
Oh
my god,
so good.
I mean,
it was so good.
I remember
that was an aha moment.
Yeah, the first time when I tried that Mogunad Naturals, oh man.
Yeah, berries and whatnot. It was just such a delicious coffee.
यहाँ नहीं रखना.
No. यहाँ मत रखो.
यहाँ नहीं रखो.
मार दो.
चेयर पे रखो. I timed the sneaks perfectly.
Well done.
Don't know the clap?
नहीं ये तो why not?
Yeah.
I just enjoy annoying you.
Yeah. So I think the Mogunad Naturals was one of those coffees that really got us into the whole the processing and how intricate great specialty coffee can be, so and again Naveen, we've been working with him since that day, and his coffees have been foundational for Bloom Coffee Ocean as well. And so now we've got our branding. We have a fair idea of how to roast coffee. We've already had our roaster for some time, which needed some tweaking and some repairs, which we got done.
And the whole idea was we wasted a lot of coffee initially to get good, but okay.
And now we've got a green coffee as well.
Yes.
Right. The first lots we got was Mogunad and Salavara, and then I think Shravan gave us a small batch of the Kaldepura organic, right? So those are nice coffees to begin with, and
also.
That came later. Yeah. And after that, what was left? Nothing much. We launched.
No, website, dude. Oh.
I don't want to get into that.
Let's
I really don't want to get into the website. I still don't think our website is that great.
Oh, this is a shout out to any web developers who love coffee. We'll barter you for a great website.
And we pay you. We're not cheap that way.
Push can. What's left?
I think 1st of February we launched.
So all of December, I think most November, December is when we were doing the hidden trials.
Burning coffee.
Yeah.
In January was when we gave out all the stuff for printing that we'll probably be launching sometime very soon.
We need to do an episode with Akshay. उसको बोलेंगे I बैठे hey buddy
big shout out to Akshay from Azadin Stores,
getting the colors right, getting the stuff right. I mean, big shout out, and how accommodating he has been overall with our idiosyncrasy.
Phenomenal. So Jan was that, and we held tastings in Jan with friends and family.
In my house.
And bias is what we got. Kid, we love the coffee. This is so good. But I think that was also, I think we needed that push as well.
We needed encouragement for sure.
And then 1st Feb is when we launched, and I still remember the first order that we got. And we were jumping. We were jumping with joy. Order आ गया. We got the first order on the website.
Anubhav.
Yeah,
Anubhav.
Yes.
Shout out to Anubhav.
Yeah, man. And so that was very exciting.
Yeah.
The month of Feb was really exciting because we were trying 3 different specialty coffees.
Yeah.
We were coupling them, we were brewing them in different ways, and they started ordering coffees from us, and it was a process, it was a thing, and back then we were sticking up our own bags ourselves.
Yeah.
We were doing it from roasting to cupping to tasting to making every bag, sending them out.
Working from Sharon's house, that whole with the brewing room, like turning his drawing room into a
packaging room.
A mess.
Yeah,
I mean,
packaging room and a brewing room.
Yeah.
Those were good times though.
Yeah.
Incredible time.
It was
The
a lot of
studio
fun.
as a photography room.
Yeah.
My long walks.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, initially there was a lot of anxiety, man. For me, at least from the operations standpoint, because it was my house.
Yeah.
So it was very easy for me to start packaging at say 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right, because I used to be so not pumped. I was genuinely I had anxiety. I had I was nervous that we've got an order, and the whole night I was almost awake. कि order आएगा, and even now, to be fair, even now when I get an email कि new order, I still so pumped. But that time it was like more anxiety, so I would just start packaging order straight away, and middle of the night I'll just start grinding coffee for no reason. Thank God that stopped.
That's true.
And so we had a good 1 month from first Feb to
great 1 month.
month and a half.
Yeah, month and a half.
Really, what kya, dude? At what, 24th?
It was March, no?
22nd March.
Yeah.
21st March was the longest 2 months.
Yeah. And I remember just before lockdown, we had spoken to Casa Bella Vista, Martha, about them taking coffee from us, and she was again so sweet and so supportive. And we got our order. I remember we went to roasted coffee. And lockdown.
That very day. Lockdown.
And we were like, I was stuck with a lot of coffee in my house.
We were stuck with about 35 kilos of coffee. Awesome.
I mean, not that awesome also. We had a lot of coffee.
We had a lot of coffee. That's true.
And
glad we did though. We get to we got to experiment a lot, in terms of brewing and.
Correct.
I still have those notes of brewing the same coffee multiple ways, multiple dosages.
No, I think honestly, when I look back, I think the lockdown was a bit of a blessing for us.
It was.
It allowed us to get our bearings right. It allowed us to profile our coffees much better. And of course, at that time, we were not thinking of this as a business, right? It was still a passion project. So. Yes, it is, of course, but now I think it's big enough where it's also a business.
We still need help when it comes to the business side
of course, but at least now we know it.
I think that's the case with everybody. Businesses also need help with business.
Exactly.
True.
So
that's not kind of a thing like
100%. And I think we had obviously no clue about, like you said, about business processes and all. But it was just so much fun doing all that stuff. But I think if the lockdown hadn't come when it came, we would have been found out. We would have been. Our shortcomings would have been exposed very, very quickly. So we were kind of protected by the lockdown, and that allowed us to grow as roasters, as brewers, as even, to be fair, entrepreneurs, because we were able to sort out a lot of our iron out some of our issues,
do a few online courses.
And what was really fun that time was that my neighbors started thinking that I was dealing with drugs. Really thought that I'm selling ecstasy or some pills, MDMA or whatever it is. Because
I'm so glad that you know the names of these things.
Thanks, man. Big shout out to me. So MDMA is Molly. Sorry.
Oh god.
Sorry. We're not cutting this out, right?
Of course, So, no, I'll tell you why though. I would get messages at midnight, bro, need stuff. Okay, and then SUVs would come outside my house at like 2 in the morning, and they would put their jars outside my gate, and I would pour something into those jars in from black bags. So after like 2-3 weeks of this, when people started going out slightly, my neighbors asked my grandmother, "Okay, Sharang, what is he doing these days? Because I see a lot of these big cars with black pouches and all that, and the stuff being transferred from black pouches into that." मुंडा बिगड़ गया.
During peak lockdown.
Peak lockdown.
And COVID was उस time पे डर था यो.
हाँ,
There
था.
were 500 cases, man.
Yeah. It was all very safe. I was wearing masks and gloves and all that, but like, it just showed one that how much people valued coffee.
Yeah.
And then it also gave us some sort of encouragement and reinforcement that our coffee was not too bad. Which is something that at least I kind of struggle with a lot in terms of believing that what we're doing is worth something. So that was really good. And I think looking back, I think the first lockdown at least was really helpful in a lot of ways. It gave us, like, we already got into that. We don't need to, right? You guys agree, right?
Yeah,
Totally.
Absolutely. Like, I really think the lockdown came out the best.
Yeah. And the other thing the lockdown gave us was our early morning roasting protocol.
Yes.
That was lockdown 2.
No, that was lockdown 1.
That was primarily lockdown 1.
I'll tell you why.
Lockdown 1, we didn't have the permission to go out.
No. At the end of it, we started roasting, no?
End of it.
Yeah, exactly. Right at the end of it.
Right at the end of it.
जब 30 किलो खत्म हो गई थी.
No, like barely what? I think 10 days before, there was still, I think, it wasn't a lockdown at that time.
Yeah.
People did start moving out and
Correct.
relaxed.
Yeah, but then the issue with us is that our roaster is in Punjab.
Yeah, so we had to
Technically, we had to cross the border.
Yeah.
So for that, we had to go extremely early in the morning, 3:34, so that we can go without being stopped by the cops, and then get back home in time, and again not get stopped by the cops. So that's how our early morning roasting protocol started.
I'm glad we did that, and it's stuck now.
It's stuck, yeah. Now we're like deep into it. It's really enjoyable. And I think like if we sum that whole phase up, I think it was a lot of fun, man.
It was a lot of fun.
Stickering and all that.
Yeah, stickering. We're running to the market to get labels printed. We coming back and we were talking to Ship Rocket guys, delivery guys, and Blue Dart people. कि भैया Blue Dart वाले जो पैकेज है ना वो गाड़ी के डिक्की के पास पड़े हैं, जो गाड़ी के बोनेट पे वो डिलीवरी वाले हैं, वो मुझे उठा के लेके. And there was like this so much, this so much happening, and we weren't doing a lot of sales at that time. But the whole thing was just so much fun. And I think because we got our hands dirty right at the beginning, we did everything ourselves, which was just so enjoyable. And I still remember the long nights that we had when we were like कि चलो ठीक है अब हमारे हफ्ते कितने और रहे थे, so let's sticker our bags पहले ही, and let's not keep it for the last moment. And then we used to have stickering days,
Stickering parties.
Stickering parties.
We had little stickering parties.
Yeah.
We used to layer all the stickers and then we used to make a chain and then sticker bags. Which was like so much fun.
Gin and stickers.
Gin and stickers. Gin and stickers.
Let's not go there.
And let's be clear, I think people might think that now we have like a giant team working for us. We don't.
We do.
Now all the stickering is done by Pradeep.
He's a one-man
army, man. One man Marvel army.
Our resident Zen master.
Correct. And so now we're a team of 4 people, and Pradeep showed us a lot of responsibility in terms of operations and packaging, and we couldn't do what we're doing without Pradeep. 100%. He's phenomenal. So now the lockdowns are over. COVID is still there, of course, but whatever it is, and we start reaching out to some of our local cafes. I think the first one that we got was Casa Modesta. They've kind of always been the people who pushed culture and pushed quality in the city.
Quality,
And when we first spoke to Martha, again, I was my usual nervous wreck self.
Yeah.
And but she was so sweet again.
She was great.
Yeah, she was amazing. She's still like even
Like,
till date, she
yeah.
supports us so much. And then of course we got Books and Brew, and then you guys cracked Beans and Brooks in Mohali. And then we got Kali Coffee, and then Acha, yeah, that was a big one as well. Yeah, and they're all cafes that we're still working with.
Yeah.
It's been what 2.5 years, and what's
I think that's where we kind of actually finalized also that we want to work with other cafes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
like we were in that weird transition phase. Ki, do we be a B2C brand or B2B? Now that I know the terms very
Yeah.
I remember I with one of you I had this conversation. Yeah, dude, B2B hota kya hai?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah,
it is-
man.
yeah, okay. So I mean that's where we realized that what's one of the major things that we enjoyed is to work with other cafe owners.
Yeah.
Is to kind of come, that's where you say that we have 100 cafes now.
That's true. That's true.
Because every cafe that we work with, we want to work with them hand in glove. We want to go deep into that coffee program.
Yeah.
Go like, yeah, आप ऐसे नहीं ऐसे करो, ये करो. Can be nosy sometimes, but I think I enjoy it.
I think we all do. I think we all
Yeah.
do. I think even in today's scenario, I think everybody wants to improve what they're already doing.
Yeah.
They want a better product, and they're willing to get their baristas trained. They're willing to try different stuff. They're willing to try light roast espressos. There's just so much that
Yeah, willing to give us a shot.
yeah, and the market has evolved. Matlab,
Oh yeah.
and we've been there. We've seen it all.
Yeah.
And I think in Chandigarh, we're the ones who actually, I think we take pride in being the ones who actually helped Chandigarh be there on the specialty market.
100%.
Altogether.
Stop tampers.
Yes.
Stop reverse tamping.
Yes.
Oh, stop reverse stamping.
Stop tamping in the air and whatnot. Well,
Yeah. And I think,
We need to make a video about reverse tamping.
oh man.
it's great, I tried it.
Oh man. No, I think the other thing that has been great about working with other cafes is that we met so many super cool people.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh man.
I think the people part of Bloom Coffee Roasters is probably what we enjoy as much as the coffee itself.
Yeah.
You know, and the times we enjoy people more than the coffee as well. I would say
That's
that.
true. Absolutely.
That is true.
100%.
And I think that's the beauty with the community.
Yeah.
You know, the coffee community that we have in India right now, and which is why community and it's been such a core part of Bloom Coffee Roasters.
Yeah.
You know, and the wholesale program has really helped us meet some amazing people throughout the country.
Yeah,
and
some amazing entrepreneurs, man. Like
Yeah.
people who know their shit.
Yeah.
They like incredibly. When they start something and they have it all figured out, man. Imagine.
Yeah.
Like entering something with a plan and executing it.
oh man,
Fuck.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
So from there, of course, I think we reached a phase of growth that was very rapid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were consuming coffee like nobody's business.
That's true.
I remember roasting 15 hours every day
Yeah.
without the AC on Scrappy
In June.
in June and July and August, and that was hellish. And we dared. We were like,
You know what?
wait, can we actually get a big roaster? Like,
Can we scale up?
can we actually scale up?
Yeah.
And March 2021.
March 2021.
March 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, March 2021, we
Yeah.
took the leap and got us our Clio, the
Yes.
ProBat 5 kg.
Yes.
And
Big step.
And she's the best.
she's the best. I still have goosebumps talking about it, man.
Yeah, man.
Like the hair on my back are standing, imagine.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but so
No bear jokes.
no bear
No
jokes.
bear jokes.
Yeah, so we upgraded within 1 year of starting
Yes.
to a 5 kilo roaster.
Yeah.
After taking loans from grandparents and family and friends, and no bank would support us then.
Yeah. Still.
Mostly family.
Mostly family, yeah.
Still.
Grandparents. And that was just so exhilarating, man.
I still remember the day that came, we ordered a
Yeah.
crane and oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. getting the roastery set up for Theo, man. Wow.
That was a really cool moment.
That was a day.
Yeah, that was a day.
Yeah, but I think I enjoyed the whole process. With being there when the work was being done at the factory.
Correct.
And everything small, very small little things, but it was such a joyous thing to see us upgrade to a new thing. Suddenly it's like from one small room, it's like things are now changing.
A roastery.
Yeah,
a roastery.
It's like legit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was a moment.
100%.
Yeah,
and I think you were like you played a huge role in setting the whole place up because I think I was traveling that time. I wasn't there during the construction and all, so you were like.
Savi took charge.
Savi took charge. Savi took charge. The way Savi does.
Who's in charge?
Savi is. and I think it's when we got Clio.
Yeah.
That's when I think we really started understanding coffee at a much deeper level, because the way we roasted, the way we were able to repeat our roasts and be more consistent on Clio versus Scrappy. Scrappy being a small roaster, just to be clear. Clio being our Pro Bat fight, you know.
Scrappy do,
yeah. It was much easier to do some of the things that we were trying to do on Scrappy, you know. And
the declining ROR.
Oh yeah. Scott Raw Baji.
And the manual cooling.
Oh dude, yeah. Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah.
And Shivansh, I think you'll be able to speak about this a bit more because I wasn't there much. How was it like creating or trying to recreate profiles from the small roaster into the big one and then improving it?
Oh man. I mean, so recreating profiles on wire curves was kind of not there.
Correct.
Like curves were not recreatable. That was clear.
Yeah.
I had to go and taste. Like we had to go and taste. Okay, this is what my Venkits taste like. We have to kind of recreate this.
Yeah.
And it was I remember that 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, probably more.
Yeah, where like we're roasting 6 hours, doing different profiles, waiting for the coffee to degas a bit. Comes in like not this. Yeah. And I remember the last scrappy batch that I saved the entire 2 weeks. And like I remember like, oh, I got it, and then tracking down the kaunsi curve thi. I wish I had a better system.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that was incredible. Like that those 2 weeks was incredible. And then I remember you came down again. And like, okay, bhai, ye curves. And you're like, nahi, bhai, ye match nahi kar rahi, theek. And like, fuck. And then we went back and forth again. It took us almost a month.
Yeah.
Before you were like, okay, cool, this is sorted. But then, if you were being objective to ourselves, there were some curves on the Pro Bat that tasted better than what we were serving from Scrappy, right?
100%.
Right? And we're like, yeah, you know what? We should serve it better.
I'm sorry. You know what happened? I was just thinking back to the Pro Bat days. So the Scrappy days. We had to cool down coffee.
That was a process.
Chandi Menu. I have a photograph of Savi wearing a sweater covered in chaff. Because you wanted to do the light roast even then, right?
Yeah.
And Savi's like and covered in chaff completely. I tried find that photo and put it in the bottle.
Yeah.
I think we should. But the scrappy days were fun.
Yeah.
Like a batch used to take 15 minutes, cooling down used to take 45 minutes.
I think that's where we discovered a mantra of consistency is the new cool.
Yeah.
Suddenly we were far more consistent and like you were saying, we were able to do much better coffee in general.
Yeah, and coffee that tasted, like for all three of it tasted good.
And I think that's also where our roasting approach started actually developing, for lack of a better word, right? I think that's where we were like, we can develop coffees more, but keep them lighter and still make them taste good, and that's I think where we built our roasting philosophy, our coffee philosophy, the way we want espressos to taste from our coffees, and that's all in that phase of reprofiling and recalibrating.
It was like to completely switch from Scrappy to Clio. It took us 3-4 months.
3 months.
Easily.
Yeah.
3-4 months.
Yeah,
where-
the last coffee that switched was the red bourbon.
yeah.
Because we were just so happy with the way it tasted on Scrappy.
Yeah,
We were like, we don't want
Yeah.
Yeah.
do anything else. But then when we started doing it on Clio, it was like, whoa.
But that was the next harvest.
that was next time.
Yeah, we didn't do it. We didn't do in that harvest.
Khatam ho gayi thi. You're right.
yeah.
You're right. Yeah,
It was
and
actually too good a coffee to be experimenting with at that time.
exactly.
And too
It
less
was
of it.
too less of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was doing so well.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
I love that coffee.
Yeah, we will be launching it soon.
Yes. Yes.
Next year.
Yeah.
I think the if we keep talking about story, we'll reach the point where we start the podcast.
Oh, yeah, man.
And it'll start again, which will be fun.
I know.
Podcast section,
Yeah.
roast section. But I think although we've already touched on this slightly, I think I want to go a bit deeper on the community part of Bloom Coffee Roasters and the people part of Bloom Coffee Roasters and why it is so important for us. Guys, why is it so important for us? Why is community so important for us? Tesvi, you want to go first?
You want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay.
I tell you, if you don't speak, I'll speak on this.
Oh God. Let's do this, man.
Go for it. Go for it.
So, I think community is so important to us because if you go back to the journey, we started. We were in Delhi, and how everybody greeted us, and we felt like we're a part of the community, being total outsiders.
Yeah.
And then we started talking to them and how comfortable we were, and they were discussing all the ideas, helping us with a lot of different things. I mean, I still remember a couple of other roasters giving us planters' numbers.
Yeah.
Please, you can give my reference, and they'll probably help you out with green coffee. Yeah. So that's one thing that has stuck with us. People that are there in the specialty coffee community are usually it's a thing. A lot of people don't believe us when we say this out, that you won't believe how good the specialty coffee community is. Everybody is so helpful.
Yeah.
And they help each other grow. They help each other in a lot of different things. And people are like, nahi, aisa nahi ho sakta. Stuff like this doesn't exist when you are doing business. And I'm like, yes, it does. Join the community and you will get to know.
Absolutely.
So it started off when we became a part of the community. And it was random. It was out of nowhere.
Correct.
Right. So that's why that's a big thing. That's the base of how we started, and that's why it is so important to us. And getting people on board, getting people to taste more coffees, to learn with them, and also make them learn about coffees. It's a big part of us, a big part of Bloom. And so the community is growing, and they help us a lot with tastings, with profiles and everything, with events. These two hate, but so community is something that we always it's like a primary focus. Everything that what Bloom is doing or what we are doing, it has to do something with the community. We
100%.
want everybody with what we call hashtag Bloom family.
Yeah.
We just want everybody to be with us
Yeah.
at all times and with everything that we do. And that's probably why community is like so special and so important to us.
Correct. 100%.
That was emotional, yeah.
That was emotional, yeah.
I mean, the kind of people that we work with, all the customers, I still remember we discussing कि dark roast करना चाहिए, लोगों को बहुत पसंद आता है, cafes में dark roast चलेंगे and this and that, and our customer base is all light roasts.
Yeah.
And they are the ones who guided us through it.
Yeah. 100%. And I think what's incredible about the coffee community is that from bean to cup, the people involved are amazing.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
From planters to our mentors like Suhas and the guys we've learned from, to our cafe partners, of course. they're considerate customers,
Yes.
which is something which we never encountered before coffee. We, any cafe customer listening to us probably knows that we're not the best at asking for payments and sending invoices on time. We get calls from people saying कि यार आपकी payment due है, invoice भेज दो, payment ले लो. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
It's unheard of. And
We need to work on that.
we need to work on that, 100%. But still, I mean, it's just how it's such a special community, and I think that also brings me to other roasters. I think we have such a great bond with so many different roasters in the country, and they've been so helpful to us. Of course, we started at QBF with Webhub, Saver Works, Barinder, Akshay from Kapi Kotai has been so helpful to us. The fact that he's shared roast profile with us, he's given us numbers of planters. He started before us, and he's a phenomenal roaster. And just the knowledge sharing within roasters in India is amazing. Then of course,
Shares from Bluetooth.
exactly. I was just coming to Bluetooth guy.
He's moved to Japan now. I'm really sad.
Yes.
I'm heartbroken, man. Seriously.
So I messaged him before he left. He's like, don't worry, man. We'll make long distance work.
We're wishing Shreyas the best for his Japan journey. During the Aerobiz Championship, when we had Suhas, Shreyas, and Webhav judging in Chandigarh, that was just the most amazing feeling because you had three very, very important parts of Bloom Coffee Roasters history in Chandigarh, judging in Aerobiz Championships. So very meta. And of course, then we have Manvi from El Peno, Shravan. All these guys have been so helpful to us, so kind to us, and that's we've learned from them, not just techniques but also kindness, and that's what we want to keep giving forward as well. So that's I think why the coffee community in India is so precious. It's so important for people who are entering the community to enter with the same values, to be open, to be kind, to be considerate, and of course like we've said so many times that tastes can vary but values must stay constant. So for us that value of community is absolutely paramount,
and that is like a foundation where this company is based on.
100%.
Like those values are literally the base of anything that we do. It's generated from there.
Absolutely. And with that we're coming to the end of almost our third year now. We're at the end of 2022. It's been a fun year. We've had some pretty amazing coffees.
No, some really good coffees.
What has been your favorite coffee of the year?
Very tricky, but I think I'll give it to Harley this year.
The naturals?
The naturals. Yeah.
It was my pick, man. You pick something else.
I'm sorry. He gave me the first option.
What about you, Shivansh? What has been your favorite coffee of the year?
Harley, dude.
Harley Naturals?
Harley Naturals. And the one you're about to launch, Krishnagiri.
Oh, Krishnagiri. That's going to be a fun one as well.
That's going to be great.
What about you?
I have really enjoyed the... I think the Harley Naturals has been the standard coffee for sure.
The complexity that Harley
it's been phenomenal.
It's incredible.
But then I think it's very important. Like I think Unaki's Agni was a really special coffee.
So let's do a rewind of our top 5-6 coffees. Like, we can't pick
Top
one.
three.
Top three.
Top three.
Top three is good.
Top three. Sharan, you start. Harley अब कोई नहीं फिर से बोलेगा. Harley established हो गया. Great coffee. Great coffee.
Yeah, so what is Harley?
Top 3 coffees of the year. For me, it is God. I think the Pulni coffees washed was super.
Agreed.
Super coffee.
Agreed.
The red honey from Venkatwali Estate. It's been incredible. I think some of the batches that we've done have been just absolutely mind-blowing. And then I want to say Ratnagiri because I think it's a great coffee. But then I think because Agni was kind of like
tricky.
Yeah, so maybe I can share it between Agni and Ratnagiri.
Fair.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think one of the favorites, especially in the last 2 years, I think Yellow Honey is there always from the Venkatwari estate. That's a constant.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever gonna change. That coffee is like delicious.
Yeah.
I think till date I still love Onuki Agni's Cortados, which are probably my favorite. The entire year. They're special. They're just so good. And I think third, I'll give it to Ratnagiri. Yeah. I mean the pour overs that we've had, all the Ratnagiri, especially in during September, October, November, is like every morning you used to come to office and you were like, pour over. Yeah, kaun si hai, Ratnagiri.
Wow.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Shivu.
Although, by the way, if I have another option, I would give it to Silvara Carbonic Maceration. That's
Oh man, yeah, super coffee. Yeah. So now you've done 4 now.
I'll share the third one.
Copy Britney, but don't copy me.
Sure.
For me, Harley Banana, I would say, was spectacular because we profiled it in a different way. One of the major reasons I know is because we got to delve into a different technique of roasting.
Yeah.
And how it came out, I'm very pleased with it. Like I'm really like the pour over and the espresso, both of it is like yummy. Uske baad, I would say Venkesh washed. I'm so happy.
Which roast profile? Light roast?
Light roast.
Papaguchi?
Yeah. Simply because I like washed coffees. Like there's nobody arguing that, right? And the beautiful complexity that brings in the body, it's a great coffee.
Yeah.
Well, I can have that every day. Like if I don't know what to have today, I will go for the Papaguchi.
Yeah.
Right. Uske baad, I will also give a shared third spot to Agni simply because how they started, they brought together, the value system behind that.
Yeah, that's
the
fun.
community behind that, Agni and Unaki Collective, it's just incredible. And Ratnagiri, because we got to work with Ratnagiri, we enjoyed, and the quality of beans that came through Ratnagiri was just incredible.
No, Mr. Patre is really, really phenomenal.
Next time I want to get a simple washed coffee from Ratnagiri.
Yeah, so that's the last thing that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
What are you guys looking forward to most for next year?
You go first.
I go first?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I am really looking forward to some great washed coffees. And we're going to start out the year with the MS Estate Red Bourbon.
Yes.
Which is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
So washed coffees next year is going to be fun. I'm also really looking forward to buying a new roaster next year. Touch wood.
Not a word, maybe.
And also, I am looking forward to traveling a bit more to cafes. Because so far we haven't really been able to go out of Chandigarh too much and meet some of our cafe partners. I really want to do that next year. Go
absolutely
catch up with these guys, chill with them. Surat, we're coming for you.
Also Calcutta, I think.
Calcutta, man. Yeah. 100%.
I think it's very important.
We have to play Dandiya.
We have to. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, Shivansh, what about you, man? What are you looking forward to next year?
I'm looking forward to first and foremost learning something new about coffee as well. I want to break some norms that we have been doing so far.
You want to create a second crack in the glass ceiling of coffee learning?
No. New first. Second class second jate nahi, bro.
Light roast is a light roast. Light roast is a light roast.
Yeah. Then it's gonna sound weird, but I'm looking forward to expanding. I really want to go. I want to, again, in that community field, I want to meet more people in coffee. I want to convert more people to coffee. I want to go, I don't want to sound preachy over here, but I want to be the preachy person over here. I want to go all, light roast is the right roast. Get our word out, and get just more interaction going. Yeah, that's I think that, and of course, great coffees. Like I'm looking forward to next year's harvest. Looking forward to some incredible coffees. Maybe some international coffees. We never know. Yeah. Okay, how are you, Harry?
Yeah, I think working with new planters is something that we all are very excited for.
Yeah.
Looking for it, trying to get some more good new coffees this year around. And expansion is something that we all are again looking forward to.
Exciting, it's an exciting time.
It's exciting. Yeah. I mean, the journey from Scrappy to Clio and then
I don't know the name yet.
And probably go one step ahead in my barista course, probably do a professional and then trainers, hopefully, in 2023. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Another thing I'm really looking forward to is really pushing our BCR pop-up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Maybe because we do only fun coffees there, bringing back the snobbery in coffee. Yeah.
You want to take the BCR pop-up and travel with it? The traveling BCR pop-up?
No, I want to make people travel first.
Yeah, I spoke to Birinder and Vaibhav.
Yeah.
I was like, guys, you must come for a January pop-up.
Yeah, man. BCR pop-up will stay where it is. People will have to come here.
Oh.
I might change the location, but yeah.
No,
Love
it's
it.
going to stay at the BCR headquarters.
Correct.
Whatever.
HQ. Yeah.
Wherever that
Yes.
is.
Love
Yes.
it. Love it.
Yeah.
And next year, there was something I was going to say, but I forgot it. And one thing that I'm really looking forward to is more podcasts and more videos.
Oh, yeah.
I think 2023 is going to be the year of content. Yeah, and if you're not happy with our content, you will be. You will be.
We are upping the quality. We make sure we are focusing on content a little more.
See how smartly we play that.
Yeah.
Don't tell us if you don't like your content.
Correct.
We know. We will improve and we'll get much better stuff.
And if somebody wants to come in and help us build content and make content for us,
Please do.
Do not hesitate to send us content.
But don't do the whole DM message thing with barter content we create. Don't do that.
Order our coffee.
Oh, correct. Yeah, order a coffee. And cool. I think that's it. Let's call it a day.
Yeah, let's call it an episode.
A month.
Let's call it an episode.
Yeah. And
I enjoyed this, man.
I think
it was fun. I hope you all enjoyed listening to us talk about our origin story. We'll be back hopefully next month.
Yeah.
With more content and more fun stuff. And please do share this with your friends, family, and fellow coffee lovers.
Yeah.
And talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.